Be honest with yourself. Have you ever looked in the mirror and quietly wondered, why do I look older than I feel inside? Not because of your skin, not because of your clothes, but something feels off. You can't quite put your finger on it. Yet the reflection staring back seems heavier, wearier, somehow not matching the energy you still carry. Here's a truth most women over 70 are never told clearly. Your haircut can either soften your years, or silently add 10 more. The hardest part? Many women hold on to the same style for decades, not realizing that what once looked elegant may now be making the face appear tired, drawn, or even harsh. Hair changes with time. Texture thins, volume decreases, natural highlights fade. A cut that suited you at 50 rarely serves you best at 75. But today that changes. In this video, we're walking through 5 incredibly powerful haircuts that don't just look nice. They visibly lift, soften, and refresh your entire appearance. These are not trends. They are timeless, age-aware choices designed specifically for mature beauty. Let's begin with something that has transformed the look of countless women. The soft layered bob. There is something quietly powerful about a haircut that knows exactly how to frame the face without trying too hard. That is the soft layered bob. As we age, the face naturally loses some of its firmness. The jawline softens, cheeks may drop slightly, and the skin doesn't reflect light the same way it once did. A blunt, one-length cut can unintentionally emphasize these changes, making everything appear heavier and more static. But soft layers change everything. They introduce movement. Instead of sitting stiffly, the hair falls gently, creating lightness that reflects onto your face. Suddenly, your features don't feel weighed down. They feel lifted, almost as if a gentle hand has smoothed away years of gravity. The beauty of this style lies in its flexibility. Whether your hair is thinning, slightly wavy, or even a little dry, soft layers work with your natural texture rather than against it. You don't need perfect, salon-styled waves. Imperfection becomes part of the charm. Another important detail is length. Keeping the bob around chin level or slightly below helps frame the face beautifully, drawing attention upward toward the eyes and cheekbones instead of dragging the gaze downward. Then there is the parting. A slight side part can make a huge difference. It breaks symmetry just enough to add softness and avoid that overly strict, severe look that can age the face. What many women don't realize is that softness is the secret to looking youthful. Not tightness, not sharp lines, but gentle, forgiving transitions. The soft layered bob gives you exactly that. It whispers elegance instead of shouting for attention. It brings life back into the hair without making it look overstyled. If your current haircut feels heavy, flat, or just a little outdated, this might be the quiet transformation you didn't know you needed. 2. Textured pixie. Now, the second haircut that can truly refresh your look is the textured pixie. There is a common fear many women have when it comes to short hair. What if it makes me look older? And honestly, that fear isn't completely unfounded. A poorly cut pixie, one that is too uniform, too sharp, or too flat, can indeed look harsh and aging. But a textured pixie? That is a completely different story. The textured pixie is not about cutting everything short and calling it done. It is about shaping the hair in a way that adds dimension, softness, and movement. As hair naturally becomes thinner with age, longer styles can sometimes exaggerate that thinning. The hair starts to look stringy or sparse instead of full. But when you go shorter in a thoughtful, intentional way, something surprising happens. It actually creates the illusion of thickness. Texture is the key. Instead of smooth, flat layers, the hair is cut with subtle variation. Some strands slightly longer, others shorter, with soft point cutting at the ends. This allows strands to lift slightly, catching light in different directions. The result is a look that feels airy, modern, and full of life. You don't need thick hair to achieve this. In fact, the textured pixie works best on fine or thinning hair, because the texture creates visual volume where none existed before. Another benefit is how it opens up the face. A well-cut pixie removes visual clutter. It draws attention to your eyes, your cheekbones, and your smile. Your best features, not your hair. It says, I am confident enough not to hide behind layers of length. But the most important part is softness around the edges. A pixie that is too sharp around the ears or neckline can feel rigid and unforgiving. However, When those edges are softened, when the top has a bit of lift and the sides blend gently, the entire look becomes more approachable and youthful. You can also leave a little length around the forehead or temples to create a soft, wispy fringe that further reduces harshness. This style is especially powerful for women who want something easy to maintain but still stylish. It doesn't require hours of effort or frequent salon visits. With a little styling cream, a quick tousle with your fingers, and perhaps a dab of lightweight mousse at the roots, you are ready in minutes. No complicated blow-drying, no heavy products. The textured pixie isn't just a haircut, it is a shift in confidence. It says you are not hiding behind your hair. You are owning your presence, exactly as you are today. 3. Shoulder-length layered cut. Let's move to the third haircut, the shoulder-length layered cut. Not every woman wants short hair, and that is perfectly okay. In fact, longer hair can look incredibly beautiful after 70, if it is done the right way. The problem isn't length itself. The problem is lack of shape. When hair grows longer without layers, it tends to pull downward. This creates a dragging effect on the face, subtly emphasizing sagging along the jawline, and making the overall appearance feel heavier, more tired. Imagine a heavy curtain versus a soft, rippling drape. One pulls everything down, the other lifts and flows. When you introduce layers into a shoulder-length cut, everything changes. Layers create lift. They break up the weight of the hair and allow it to move naturally. This movement brings energy back into your look. Instead of sitting limply against your shoulders, the hair bounces slightly when you walk, catches the light when you turn your head. That subtle animation makes you look more vibrant and engaged. Another advantage is versatility. A shoulder-length layered cut can be styled in multiple ways. You can wear it softly curled for a romantic evening, gently waved for a casual lunch, or even straight with volume at the roots for a polished daytime look. Each variation gives a slightly different feel, keeping your appearance fresh without needing a completely new haircut every few weeks. Face framing layers are especially important here. They soften the lines around the cheeks and jaw. Instead of drawing attention to areas you might feel conscious about, a little extra fullness under the chin, for example, they guide the eye toward your best features. Your eyes, your smile, your cheekbones. A good stylist will cut those front layers so they fall just around the chin or slightly below, curving inward ever so gently to create a slimming, lifting effect. And let's not forget balance. This haircut maintains enough length to feel feminine and graceful, while still being structured enough to avoid looking outdated or old lady long. It sits right in that perfect middle ground, modern, flattering, and easy to adapt to different hair textures, from fine and straight to coarser, wavy hair. For women who feel attached to their longer hair but want to look more refreshed, this style offers the best of both worlds. It doesn't ask you to let go of your identity. It simply enhances it. You keep your length, but you lose the weight. You keep your comfort zone, but you add vibrancy. That is a beautiful trade. 4. Soft feathered cut. The fourth haircut is the soft feathered cut. There is something undeniably elegant about a feathered hairstyle when it is done correctly. But here is where many women go wrong. They remember the feathered styles from decades ago, the big, dramatic flips of the 1970s and 80s, and try to recreate them exactly the same way. Unfortunately, those older versions can feel dated and stiff today. A modern feathered cut is much softer, much more subtle. Instead of dramatic flips and heavy shaping, the feathering is gentle. It is designed to create flow rather than structure. Think of the difference between a rigid origami fold and the way a bird's wing naturally curves. That is what a modern feathered cut achieves: organic, effortless movement. This flow is incredibly important for mature faces. As skin loses some elasticity, harsh lines in the hair, sharp angles, blunt ends, rigid outlines, can make those changes more noticeable. They draw the eye to every little sag or wrinkle because the contrast between severe hair and soft skin is too strong. But soft feathering blends everything together. It creates a seamless transition from hair to face, which instantly feels more youthful, more harmonious. Another major benefit is volume. Feathered layers naturally lift away from the scalp. The ends are light and airy, so they don't weigh the hair down. This gives the illusion of fuller hair without needing heavy styling products or backcombing. It is especially helpful for women experiencing thinning or fine hair, because the feathering technique distributes what little hair you have in a way that maximizes coverage and bounce. And then there is the movement. When you turn your head, when the wind touches your hair, when you simply walk across a room, the hair moves with you. That movement adds life. It brings a sense of energy that static, helmet-like hairstyles simply cannot provide. You look approachable, active, present. This style works beautifully at different lengths, but it is especially flattering around shoulder length or slightly shorter, just above the collarbone. That way, the feathered ends have room to flicker outward or inward depending on your mood and the weather. It is not about looking trendy. It is about looking alive. The soft feathered cut doesn't overpower your face. It supports it. It frames your features like a soft vignette rather than a bold frame. And in doing so, it quietly takes years off your appearance, not by hiding your age, but by making your age look effortless and graceful. 5. Gentle tapered cut. And finally, the 5th haircut, the gentle tapered cut. Sometimes the most powerful transformations are the most subtle ones. This humble, elegant style is a perfect example. At first glance, it may seem simple, almost too simple, but the magic lies in the way it shapes the hair around the head. The gentle tapered cut gradually shortens the hair toward the neckline, while keeping a bit more length on top. This creates a natural lift at the crown, something that becomes incredibly important as hair begins to lose volume with age. That lift changes the entire silhouette of your head. Instead of appearing flat, limp, or drooping, the hair has structure. It feels balanced, proportionate. And that balance reflects directly onto your face, making everything appear more refined and harmonious. Another key advantage is how clean and polished it looks without being stiff. A harsh, overly structured cut, think sharp geometric lines or severe stacking, can feel aging because it fights against the natural softness of an older face. But a gentle taper keeps things soft. It follows the natural shape of your head instead of fighting against it. The back is close but not shaved. The sides blend smoothly into the longer top. This makes it incredibly flattering from every angle, whether you are seen in profile, from behind, or face to face. It is also one of the easiest styles to maintain. Because of its natural structure, it holds its shape as it grows. You don't need constant styling or frequent adjustments to keep it looking good. A quick rinse, a touch of lightweight conditioner, and a little finger styling are often enough. For women who prefer a neat, elegant appearance without too much daily effort, this haircut is a quiet but powerful choice. It doesn't demand attention, but it earns admiration. And sometimes, that is exactly what timeless beauty is all about. The truth is, looking younger after 70 isn't about chasing trends or trying to look like someone else. It's about understanding what works for you now. Your face has changed. Your hair has changed. And that is not something to hide. It is something to work with. The right haircut doesn't erase your age. It softens it. It enhances your natural elegance. It brings out a quiet confidence that no trend ever could. So if something hasn't felt right lately when you look in the mirror, maybe it's not you. Maybe it's just time for a better choice. A better cut. A better understanding of how to let your beauty speak for itself. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path. Because true beauty doesn't fade, it evolves gracefully. Thank you for watching. And here's to looking in the mirror and finally seeing the woman you still feel like inside.